A lot of companies I speak with have duplicate parts inside their PLM system or database. This happens because a part is entered multiple times under different names. Sometimes there's literally dozens of these duplicate parts created each year for a single part. Every new part placed inside of a database takes time to source or model. These parts also consume company resources throughout every phase of the product lifecycle. In a survey we did of over 500 manufacturing companies, engineers said they spend roughly 2 hours every day sourcing or modeling supplier parts. That's equal to 59 days of innovation and problem solving lost to mundane, non-value added work every year for every single engineer. The Department of Defense conducted in-depth research on parts management. The Parts Standardization and Management Committee published results in a paper called Reduce Program Costs Through Parts Management. This concludes that it takes 6 hours on average to search for every new part entered into a data management system. For every 1 hour spent searching for a part, it takes 10 additional hours to document that part. Engineering design and documentation accounts for only 46% of the total cost of introducing and maintaining a new part, according to the report. Government regulations do contribute to the high level of documentation in these examples. The government may not regulate your industry as much as they regulate the defense sector, so you may not need to spend as much time documenting the parts you use when you're working on projects in your company. Still, if your company requires only 10% of the documentation that the Department of Defense requires, you'll still spend 1 hour on documentation for each hour you spend searching for a part. Each new part has to be approved, entered into a data management system, and documented. In some cases, there's 2D drawings that have to be made up for manufacturing or for a sourcing department. Not all of the documentation will be completed by the design engineer, but it's still part of the engineering process. The point is this: engineers often underestimate the time it takes to create a new CAD model and turn it into a part to be used in a design. They often forget to include the time engineering departments spend documenting a new part, let alone the total cost of a part throughout the product lifecycle. Any time spent duplicating work in any phase of the product lifecycle adds unnecessary costs and slows down the design process. If a part already exists in a database or PLM system, it is a waste of company resources to create or search externally for a duplicate of that part.